Hi, it's Michael with you to recap more Cavaliers games from this past week. But first, it's time to take a look back at the NFL Divisional Round contest between the Cleveland Browns and the Kansas City Chiefs this past Sunday. The notes and schedule are courtesy of the Browns, NFL, and NBA apps and website, the television broadcasts, and Twitter. The Browns were on defense first, and they were pushed around. On the initial drive, Darrell Williams ran for a dozen yards on the second play from scrimmage. Later, on 2nd and 3 after a Travis Kelce grab, Tyreek Hill, who took the ball for 4 on the first play of the drive, caught a pass. He ran for more yardage to total 26 yards to the Cleveland 26-yard line. After Williams had more success on the ground, Sheldon Richardson was caught for an infraction prior to the snap, which netted a first down. Ronnie Harrison did create a negative play by taking down Mecole Hardman. Still, Williams would receive a pass on the left side for 9. Hill was utilized on 3rd and 2, taking the football to the 3. Williams did not get in on 1st and goal, but quarterback Patrick Mahomes ran to his right and crossed the goal line for the touchdown. Harrison Butker was wide to the left on the extra point, which kept the score at 6-0 with more than 9 minutes remaining in the opening quarter. Nick Chubb found room on the left side for 5 on Cleveland's first offensive snap, but Jedrick Wills got hurt on the play. Then Baker Mayfield found David Njoku open for big yardage to the Kansas City 43, covering 27 on the play. Incompletions to Jarvis Landry to Austin Hooper. Incompletions to Jarvis Landry and Austin Hooper meant 3rd down. And then Mayfield went right back to Hooper, who got the necessary yardage +1. Then 3 straight running plays occurred. Chubb gained 6, but could not escape the grasp of Charvarius Ward and Tyrann Mathieu on 2nd down. So on 3rd and 4, Baker ran to the right and went out of bounds at the 20. L'Jarius Sneed read the next play well, as Landry caught Mayfield's pass but was tackled 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. L'Jarius then sacked Baker for a sack back to the 31, so all that the Browns could do was settle for a short pass on 3rd down to Jarvis, which was well short of the line to gain. Cody Parkey connected from 46 yards on his field goal attempt inside of 3 minutes to go in the period, so Cleveland trailed 6-3. Parkey sent the ball into the end zone for a touchback on the kickoff, and Kansas City started at the 25. After Mahomes could not hit Le'Veon Bell, he went to Hardman, which went for a big pickup. Myles Garrett tracked him down at the Browns' 33. Patrick and Mecole hooked up for 9 after Bell rushed for short yardage. Byron Pringle hauled in an 11-yard pass to close the quarter outside the Cleveland 10. Kevin Johnson limited Tyreek to just a yard. Then right guard Austin Reiter was called for holding, which nullified a run of 7. Still, 2nd and 19 proved to be no problem for the home side as Kelce was open across the middle for a 20-yard score. Butker had no issues with the extra point, and it was 13-3 with just over a minute into quarter 2. The Browns got the ball after no return, looking to get another scoring drive together. Nick started the possession off with a 4-yard advance. After Mayfield found Landry up to the 36, the sticks were moved. Mathieu was ready to stop Chubb in his tracks. Then Mayfield went deep to the near sideline to Donovan Peoples-Jones into Chiefs territory at the 44. Things appeared even better after Jarvis received a pass for 17, but Wyatt Teller was called for holding, and the drive went south from there. Nick Chubb was unable to secure possession on 1st and 2nd down, setting up 3rd and 20. Mayfield's throw was swatted by left defensive tackle Tershawn Wharton and was caught by the quarterback on the ricochet, but right defensive end Frank Clark came in on the tackle back at the Cleveland 38. Jamie Gillen forced Mecole Hardman into a fair catch at the Kansas City 15 to force a long field inside of 10 minutes until the half. The Browns found out again the hard way how difficult it would be to slow the Chiefs' offense down, especially getting them to 3rd down. Darrell Williams was used again to run for 4. Hill picked up an 8-yard reception. Travis Kelce added a catch to the Kansas City 41. Passes to Hardman and Williams advanced the ball to the 42 of the Browns. Penalties did start to pile up on the offense as Andrew Wiley held. 2 plays later, Eric Fisher was downfield and ineligible, which meant 2nd and 23. Still, Kansas City extricated out of that situation, with Hill netting 15 on a catch, followed by Mahomes' scramble of 13 on 3rd and 8. Two incompletions put them back to third down, and this time defensive end Adrian Claiborne came up with the goods by tackling down Williams at the 32. Butker drilled a 50-yard field goal, and it was still a two-score game with a shade over 3 minutes showing on the clock. Dearness Johnson got a chance to return the ensuing kickoff for the Browns, bringing the ball out to the 25. 2 plays into the drive, Cleveland was aided by a Bashad Breeland defensive penalty. Later, Peoples-Jones was unable to come up with the football on a deep pass, but was called for pushing off. 2nd and 20 proved to be no big deal as Mayfield connected with Njoku up to the Browns' 46 before the 2-minute warning. Daniel Sorensen, who factored later in the drive, was called for defensive pass interference. 2 plays after that, it was 2nd down at the Chiefs' 49, and Baker found Rashard Higgins for 23, and he wisely went out of bounds to stop the clock with 1:42 left. However, the next play proved to be an important moment in the game as Higgins ran towards the end zone, but was hit by the crown of the helmet by the aforementioned Sorensen, and Rashard lost the ball prior to reaching the end zone. The ball did not go out of bounds by the sideline at the 1, but instead through the end zone, which is by rule a touchback and a possession for the team on defense. There was no flag for helmet-to-helmet, and it remained 16-3 instead of potentially a 16-10 score. Kansas City marched down the field with Kelce and Hill combining for 16 yards on the first 2 plays. Later on 3rd and 7, Tyreek's number was called again across the middle to the Cleveland 48. Travis Kelce took a short pass and went upfield for 22. Hill added 16, but even with the last play of offside on Myles Garrett declined, only 5 seconds remained, and once again the Browns could be thankful that Harrison Butker was kicking a field goal and not an extra point. So the kick was good with 2 seconds left, and 19-3 was how it read at halftime. The second half threatened to go the wrong direction for the Cleveland Browns early after Mathieu intercepted Mayfield and Garrett was injured following Mecole Hardman's 4-yard carry. Still, 2 incompletions by Patrick Mahomes to Le'Veon Bell meant Kansas City could not breach the end zone the way they had the first 2 series of the game. Butler hit the left upright less than a minute into the third quarter, and the Browns were tossed another lifeline. Nick Chubb, on the next Cleveland series, had a lot of room to run as he moved for 23 yards. He then scampered for 18. After Kareem Hunt was held to 2, Baker went back to Rashard for another 18 into the red zone. Hunt rushed for 9 down to the 7. Then Landry caught a pass but was tackled immediately by 7th-year linebacker Anthony Hitchens. Mayfield was asked to run for the yard to gain, which he did by sneaking the ball forward. Then he spotted Landry for a 4-yard touchdown. The team chose not to go for 2, with still 24-plus minutes remaining in the second half. And a successful 2-point conversion would have chopped the 16-point deficit in half, meaning another touchdown and 2-point attempt could tie the game potentially. But as it was, 19-10 was the score at the time after Parkey's extra point. So Kansas City was moving down the field again as Mahomes completed a pass to Demarcus Robinson on 2nd and 10 from the Chiefs' 25. Kelce and Williams moved the ball to the 48, setting up 3rd and 1. Mack Wilson tackled Mahomes for no gain, but Patrick was hurt and left the game, which left Chad Henne to take snaps behind the center for Kansas City. Williams found space on the left side for 12 on 4th down, and then he went to the opposite side on the very next play for another 16. After Bell added 4 and Henne's incompletion to Robinson, the Chiefs were left with 3rd and 6. Carl Joseph saved a first down by tackling Kelce at the 15. Butker bounced back from his miss earlier in the quarter by connecting from 33 inside 5 minutes left in the third. So the new score was 22-10 Chiefs. But then Cleveland would show their mettle on the next possession. Chubb found room on the right side for 7 on 2nd down and 10. Njoku caught a pass right by the sticks on the next snap, but was marked short. The offense stayed out on the field, and Chubb went straight ahead for 3 to avoid the turnover on downs deep in Browns territory. Landry and Higgins totaled 23 on the next 2 plays to reach the Kansas City 40. Nick gained 7 on the next 2 plays from scrimmage to put a period to quarter 3. Though on the outskirts of field goal range down 12, it was 3rd and short, and settling for 3s were not going to cut it, even with Kansas City having to resort to their backup quarterback. David Njoku was called upon, and he made another big catch to the 29. Hunt, who wasn't really involved much in the first half, got the ball for 10 against his former team to create another possession inside the opposition's 20. He added 4 more to the 15. And then on second down, Mayfield could not find Landry, but went right back to him on third down. But Breeland stopped him in his tracks 3 yards shy of the line to reach. A second fourth down beckoned, and Baker chose Austin Hooper, who made it with 2 yards to spare. Hunt got half of the 7 yards of real estate on first and goal. Then, after Higgins was the intended target on second down, Kareem ran it in on third down. So Parkey's extra point put real game pressure back on the Chiefs following an 18-play, 75-yard drive of 8 minutes and 17 seconds. So Kansas City started their next series on their 25 with just over 11 minutes remaining in regulation, leading 22-17. Tyreek Hill caught a deep pass from Chad Henne, guarded closely by Denzel Ward. Surprisingly, the Browns decided to challenge the play, hoping for an incompletion. With timeouts precious in the second half and people upstairs in the booth watching replays, it was head-scratching. Well, what was the staff looking at on the replays if for no other reason than to give the defense even more time to discuss what they wanted to do? Well, in any event, an incorrect challenge meant Cleveland was down to 2 timeouts remaining. Kansas City was able to eventually overcome a false start by Tyreek Hill. Travis Kelce caught a short pass for 24. Tight end Ricky Seals-Jones was called for an illegal crackback, which took the Chiefs out of field goal range. Then on the very next play, Henne throws a pass up for grabs in the end zone, and it went straight to Carl Joseph for an interception, and the Browns knew that an 80-yard drive with exactly 8 minutes left on the clock gave the team a chance to go in front. So Chubb took a screen pass for 4, then was stopped at the line of scrimmage by Hitchens and Chris Jones. And then Rashard Higgins almost had the first down on a catch of 5, meaning a third fourth down conversion attempt had to be made to keep Cleveland going in on this game. Mayfield snuck it again to the 31 with under 6 minutes left. Chubb was tackled in the backfield on first down by Hitchens. Following an incompletion, Mayfield tried a screen pass for 2 as Chris Jones and Charvarius Ward impacted the play. With still 4 minutes left, the conservative play calling backfired and the Browns had to punt the ball back. So Kansas City trying to run out the clock. Williams got 2 on first down from the Chiefs' 28. Then Henne passed to Hill, who went out of bounds for 4, and Cleveland was spared 40 more seconds of time going off the clock. Still, Darrell Williams got the necessary yards on 3rd and 4, forcing the Browns to spend their last timeout after using their second during their last offensive series. So with 3:15 remaining, Joseph limited Williams to 2, and then things were looking much better when Garrett sacked Henne on the last snap before the 2-minute warning, forcing 3rd and 14, and the defense was ready to stop everybody except the quarterback as, well, Chad Henne had a lot of room to run. He was able to stay in bounds, but if not for M.J. Stewart, it would have been a first down. So with 4th and 1 from the Kansas City 48, the offense decided to take the risk with 1:14 showing. A Cleveland stop would mean a short field and no timeouts, but enough time to go down and win with a touchdown. The play clock wound down with the offense on the field. The punting unit was not on, and Henne went to the far sideline to Hill, who got the first down, and he went straight to the ground inbounds. The clock wound down, and Henne took 1 kneel down to end the game. So Kansas City's season continues while Cleveland's comes to an end. The final score was 22-17 Chiefs, but what a ride it was for the Browns. 11 wins, a playoff appearance for the first time in 18 years, a convincing road victory over fierce rivals Pittsburgh, and going toe-to-toe with the defending Super Bowl champions is nothing to be ashamed of at all. It just means that the 2021-22 season cannot come soon enough because there is real promise with the foundation in place. And hoping Grant Delpit and Greedy Williams will have a big impact on the back end of the defense in the upcoming autumn and winter. Obviously, the draft will be not too far away. The NFL season winds down as Conference Championship Sunday commences at 2:05 p.m. Central tomorrow. And that'll be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Green Bay Packers for the NFC. Then attention turns to the AFC as the Buffalo Bills are in Kansas City to play the Chiefs at 5:40. The winners go to Super Bowl 55, to be held in Tampa, Florida in 2 weeks at 5:30 o'clock on February 7th. So hopefully the Browns will factor into the picture next year on the road to taking aim at possibly being at Super Bowl 56. We'll have to wait and see. The Cleveland Cavaliers welcomed the Brooklyn Nets on the court Wednesday, one that turned into an instant classic. Watching the free preview on NBA League Pass, it was really cool to see Brooklyn color analyst Richard Jefferson show off the ring he won in 2016 while with the Cavaliers over on the Nets television feed. As for the game, Brooklyn led by as many as 8 in the first quarter, while Cleveland's margin was as large as 14 late in the third. Kyrie Irving tied the game at 113 with just over a minute left. Neither side was able to get off a shot after Larry Nance Jr. pulled up from 3 and missed for the Cavaliers. So the game needed overtime, and Irving made a tray early in the session. Kevin Durant converted a jump shot, and it looked like trouble. But Colin Sexton would knock down a jumper of his own. After a Durant lay-in made the margin 5 again, center Jarrett Allen made a basket. The defense got the stop on the other end, and Nance came up with the game-tying 3 with under 47 seconds left. The Nets were not done, as ex-Cav Jeff Green knocked down a 3 almost 20 game-time seconds afterwards. Out of a Cleveland timeout, Zeddy Osman's quick basket reduced the deficit to 1, but 2 James Harden free throws restored their lead at 125 to 122. The Cavaliers extended the game once more by going inside, scoring on Sexton's layup off a missed Osman 3. Durant was clutched on his free throws. Harden used Brooklyn's foul to give with 5.2 seconds on the clock. So Cleveland took it from the side, and then Sexton was able to get off a tying shot to square things at 127 behind the line. So there was still just over a second left, which was time for Durant to get off a good look, but his miss at the buzzer meant more basketball, and this time it really was time for Colin to take over. He scored the first 15 points for Cleveland in the double overtime, which included 4 triples. Taurean Prince ended up with the last 5 points for Cleveland, but the Nets could not respond, and the Cavs got a character-building win by a final score of 147 to 135 on Wednesday. So the Nets and Cavs met again in Cleveland last night, but this one did not require 58 minutes. Cleveland came away with a 125 to 113 result. Jarrett Allen, Andre Drummond, and Larry Nance Jr. shot the ball well, of those that took at least 9 shots from the field. Sexton scored 25 with a plus 18 on the floor, dishing out 9 assists. Taurean Prince added 14, Darius Garland 11 to round out the 6 players that scored in double figures. The bench outscored Brooklyn 53 to 31 in a game that saw 9 lead changes and 4 ties, and the Cavaliers carried a double-digit lead for the last 12-plus minutes of game time. Brian Dulick of the Associated Press pointed out that Kevin Durant did not play in this one for the Nets. Kyrie Irving had a game-high 38 points with 3 other players in double figures, which included James Harden with 19. So the Cavaliers will venture ahead to Boston at 6 o'clock Central Sunday, then head back to Cleveland to welcome in the defending champion Los Angeles Lakers at 7 on Tuesday. 23 hours after tip-off of that game, the Cavs will be in action to host the Detroit Pistons. Then a plane ride follows with Friday's contest at the New York Knicks at 30 minutes past 6. The standings read 11-5 76ers, and then the Pacers and Bucks at 9-6, Celtics 8-6, Cavaliers and Hawks with identical 8-7 marks, Nets 9-8, and the 8-9 Knicks in the top 8 slots for the Eastern Conference. Meanwhile, the West lineup shows the Clippers and Lakers at 12-4, then the Jazz 11 up and 4 down, Suns and Trailblazers both 8-6. The Grizzlies are 6th at 7-6, and the Mavericks and Nuggets each at 8-7. So you can follow the North Texas Browns backers on Facebook by typing in North Texas Browns backers in the search box. Thank you to all of you for coming out all season long to the Irishman Pub. Hopefully we will reconvene for the NFL draft later in the spring, as the Browns' Twitter account says that Cleveland is scheduled to pick 26th in the first round. So videos and previous entries can be found by typing in Michael Bolesta Roman numeral 2 on YouTube. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at MJBOLESTA2, as in the number 2. http://www.mjbolesta2.wordpress.com has the text form of this blog. Thank you very much for watching, and may God bless you. Be safe.